On, off. So we'll call our closed session back into order, and our first item is to adjourn from closed session.
Motion to adjourn from closed session.
We need to report that there was no reportable actions.
And there is nothing to report from our closed session at this time. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. We are adjourned from closed session. So our next item is to welcome you to the regular meeting of the Fortuna City Council. And if you'll please silence your electronic devices and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Conley.
Present.
Councilmember Diaz.
Here.
Councilmember Stevens.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent.
Here.
Mayor Johnson.
Here. And thank you. So we come now to oral comments from the public for items not on this evening's agenda. If anyone would like to make a comment on items that are not on tonight's agenda, this is the time to do it. Okay, seeing none. We come now to a presentation for Sunshine Week and for the League of Women's Voters, and I will be reading the proclamation and delivering it. So this is to proclaim March 15th through the 21st of 2026 as Sunshine Week. And whereas Sunshine Week is a national initiative to start dialogue on the importance of open government and freedom of information. And whereas Sunshine Week is a nonpartisan initiative whose supporters are conservative, liberal, and from every group in between. Sunshine Week participants include print, broadcast, and online news media, civic groups, libraries, nonprofits, schools, and others interested in the public's right to know. And whereas James Madison, the father of our federal Constitution, wrote that consent of the governed requires that the people be able to arm themselves with the power which knowledge gives. And whereas an open government is vital to establishing and maintaining the people's trust in their government and in the government's ability to serve the people effectively. The free flow of information keeps government processes honest and robust. Sunshine Week empowers people to play an active role in their government at all levels and strengthens their access to information that makes their lives better and their communities stronger. And whereas protecting every person's right to access public records and government meetings is a high priority, and whereas the League of Women Voters of Humboldt County supports the goals of Sunshine Week, the League provides our residents with nonpartisan education through public forums, publications, and presentations, assists with voter registration, and encourages participation in government. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City Council of Fortuna hereby names March 15th through the 21st, 2026 as Sunshine Week and encourages all residents to educate themselves about government processes that affect their lives. Signed this second day of March, 2026, City of Fortuna, State of California, Mike Johnson, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I do. I can make a comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the League, I want to thank the City of Fortuna for its dedication and commitment to this national initiative. It helps us all get to where we want to go through shared goals and open communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So our next item is the consent calendar. We have 4 items: the minutes from the February 2nd meeting, regular meeting, the report of disbursements, receive and file AB 2561 status and vacancies report, and review and approve mayor recommendations of appointee to the Park Commission. Anybody wish to pull anything? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the consent calendar?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. So our first item of business this evening is the public hearing and second reading for adoption of amendments to Title 17 zoning regulations and ordinance 2026-782. Staff report?
We did previously go over the staff report at the last city council meeting, so I just wanted to reiterate that by amending this, the zoning code, we will have our accessory dwelling unit ordinance conform with state code. It does some additional cleanup of our zoning code by amending the short-term rental definitions and our secondary dwelling unit definitions, and other references to the state codes that we are following. So it really is going to simplify and streamline things for folks, and make things easier on staff so that we are not continually updating repeatedly out-of-date ordinance. So if you have any additional questions, I can answer those for you. Otherwise, we'll just continue on with the second reading.
Okay, well, thank you. Is there any questions for staff regarding this? Is there any public comment regarding this rezone amendment and resolution? Seeing none.
Make a motion to hold a second reading and adopt ordinance 2026-782 and read by title only.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Can we get a roll call?
Ordinance 2026-782, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Fortuna certifying compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act and amending Title 17, the zoning regulations of the Fortuna Municipal Code to comply with state law for accessory dwelling units and junior accessory dwelling units. Councilmember Conley?
Aye.
Councilmember Diaz?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes. All right. Well, thank you. Our second item tonight is to approve a hiring freeze exception for a community development director / city engineer.
Honorable Mayor and council members, the position of Community Development Director has either been on leave or vacant since the middle of August 2025, and I, as the city manager, have been assuming these responsibilities in addition to all of the other duties that I have as city manager. On November 17th, 2025, the City Council established a hiring freeze for general fund funded positions with explicit allowances for exceptions when positions are essential and critical to operations. The Community Development Director is responsible for community development services, and this includes planning, zoning, housing, building inspections. Staff recommends that the title and scope of the Community Development Director position be updated to that of Community Development Director, City Engineer. This revision reflects the integration of engineering duties into the department head role, and Fortuna's municipal code actually says that engineering lies within the Community Development Department, so formally assigning city engineer responsibilities to the Community Development Director aligns the position with these statutory duties, and also strengthens coordination between planning and engineering, enhances customer service for applicants, and reduces the city's dependence on some contract engineering services. Given the legal, operational, and economic impacts of leaving this role vacant as described in the staff report, staff requests an immediate exception to the hiring freeze to fill the position of Community Development Director / City Engineer. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Is there any questions for,
I don't have any.
okay, is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none,
Make a motion to approve exception to the hiring freeze for the Community Development Director / City Engineer position and begin the recruitment and appointment process.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
It's a roll call vote.
Oh, roll.
Councilmember Conley?
Aye.
Councilmember Diaz?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes. Okay. Our next item, approve the purchase and sale agreements, two purchase and sale agreements for acquisition of 7.2 acres of open ground at 1320 River Rock Drive and approximately 236 acres in the Eel River Corridor, and adoption of CEQA findings and Resolution 2026-04 and 2026-05.
Honorable Mayor and council members, the City of Fortuna has long sought to improve the public access to the Eel River Corridor, preserve riparian habitat, and expand opportunities for open space, recreation, and natural resource stewardship through the purchase of property along the lower Eel River. And my understanding is that this project has been in the works for over a decade, as possibly Mayor Pro Tem Trent and Mayor Johnson can attest to. So before your city council tonight are purchase and sell agreements with resolutions for the purchase of two pieces of property. The first piece of property is a 7.2 acre parcel at 1320 Riverwalk Drive, and it's unimproved land adjacent to the Eel River. The acquisition aligns with the city's parks and natural resource goals that are contained in the general plan. The city would retain this piece of property with the intent for this to become a park with river access. The second piece of property is 236 acres and consists of multiple parcels within the unincorporated area of Humboldt County. These lands provide critical habitat, open space preservation, and potential long-term public access opportunities consistent with regional conservation objectives. The 236 acres will be returned to the Wiyot tribe. There is a public benefit for both acquisitions, and these include but are not limited to protecting the sensitive riparian and open space environments, supporting long-term ecological conservation, and expanding and enabling future public access to the lower Eel River. And again, these public benefits are in line with the city's parks, recreation, and natural resource priorities. Approximately $1.9 million in grant funding has been secured for acquisition and environmental documents from California Natural Resources, United States Fish and Wildlife, and the California Coastal Conservancy. And therefore, staff recommends that your council adopts the necessary resolutions to effectuate the purchase and sell agreements. And in addition, the city attorney, Ryan Plotz, is on the line should I have missed anything in this summary of this staff report.
Okay, thank you. And it has been a long process to get to this point. Is there any questions or comments from staff and for council?
What happens if the appraisal comes in less than the contract price?
Well, there is currently no contract price because the purchase is, the price is based on the appraisal.
So the sellers have agreed to sell it for the appraised amount?
We hope so. And also, our grant funds cannot be used to purchase
So
over an
the grant
appraisal
funds are
price.
up to that amount?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I just wanted to also say, because this question's come up a lot, the city doesn't have a lot of money, that this is being purchased with grant funds. It doesn't come out of the general fund at all.
Is there any public comment on this item?
Tina Christensen, a resident of Fortuna. I think it's a great purchase. I think that Fortuna needs to move forward. We've lost a lot of industry in this county, and something can happen down there that could be truly amazing. Egan's have sold for another motel down there. You know, we need to revitalize Fortuna, and this is a big step, and congratulations to you guys.
Thank you. It's been a long process. Any other public comment on this item?
Making a motion to adopt Resolution 2026-04 and read by title only.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, and we get a roll call.
Resolution 2026-04, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Fortuna, California, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement of purchase and sale and joint escrow instructions with Troy Elbert Land and Trudy Marilyn Emke for the acquisition of approximately 7.2 acres of unimproved real property located at 1320 Riverwalk Drive, Fortuna, California, portion of APN 200-362-005-000 through the California River Parkways Grant Program, grant agreement number R86202-0, adopting CEQA categorical exemption findings under guidelines section 15316 and 15325, and making related findings and authorizations. Councilmember Conley.
Aye.
Councilmember Diaz.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent.
Yes.
Mayor Johnson.
Yes. And can we get a motion for 2026?
Do you want to just make sure that we open it up to public comment on that before we make a motion on that one as well?
Well, do we have any comment on 2026-05?
Then just because I want to hear Sienna talk so much again, make a motion to adopt Resolution 2026-05 and read by title only.
You're welcome.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Resolution 2026-05, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Fortuna, California, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement of purchase and sale and joint escrow instructions with Troy Elbert Land and Trudy Marilyn Emke for the acquisition of approximately 236 acres of unimproved real property in the unincorporated area of Humboldt County, portion of APN 200-362-005-000 and APNs 106-091-040-000, 106-091-030-000, and 106-091-044-000 through the California Coastal Conservancy Grant Program, conditioned upon receipt of grant funding at or in excess of fair market value, authorizing designation of a conservancy steward to hold and manage the property, adopting a CEQA Class 25 categorical exemption finding, CEQA Guidelines Section 15325, and making related findings and authorizations. Councilmember Conley?
My title only is aye.
Councilmember Diaz?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes. I don't know which was longer, the process to get here or the reading of the items. Okay, so we now come to approve a zoning map amendment for assessor's parcel number 040-172-009 from retail commercial to commercial thoroughfare and find the project exempt from the CEQA ordinance 2026-783.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. Council, let me get this loaded up and begin the presentation. Okay, we are here for the first reading of ordinance.
Katie, we can't hear you very well. Could you possibly talk a little closer? Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. We are here for the first reading of ordinance 2026-783, which is a zoning map amendment for 703 Main Street. We'll start with a little background on the project. And one moment, let me get this out of the way. There we go. The 10,000 square foot parcel is fully developed with a 1,500 square foot primary structure and a 960 square foot accessory structure. The primary structure was originally constructed as a single-family residence, and then the residence was later converted to commercial use. In 2021, a conditional use permit was issued to allow the parcel to be used as a contractor's yard for a pest extermination business. And then subsequently, that property owner retired and the parcel was sold to the current applicant. Project location, it is in, excuse me, the surrounding neighborhood is characterized by mixed-use development, predominantly commercial, with some residential components. You can see here, it's in the center of this mainly commercial area, but there are pockets of residential neighborhoods. The frontage along Main Street is also a mix of commercial and residential areas. The adjacent uses do include an auto shop to the east, a contractor's office to the west, commercial space to the south, a light industrial development to the southwest, and office space, as well as multifamily residential to the north. Some regulatory context. Fortuna Municipal Code, Section 17.07.200. The chapter regarding zoning amendments, subsection H, the criteria for granting an amendment to the zoning regulations or zoning map may be granted if the following findings are made: that the proposed amendment is consistent with the Fortuna General Plan in accordance with Section 65860 of the Government Code, and that the public health, safety, and general welfare require the adoption of the proposed amendment. And we are frozen. One moment. There we go. Okay, the current zoning, the parcel is currently zoned retail commercial, the RC district, and the retail commercial district is intended to provide a complete and intensive commercial center in the downtown commercial area. The subject parcel adjoins the commercial thoroughfare zone and a light industrial zone in a transitional area west of the concentrated downtown retail area. And in this lower graphic, you can see where the parcel is located. It does border the commercial thoroughfare zone and is a bit a ways from the concentrated retail areas. This star on the map is really the end of the concentrated retail area. That's where the old Lowe's building is, and everything in between is more a mixture of other types of commercial uses. And then as it gets closer to the commercial thoroughfare zone, it's the heavier commercial uses. The proposed zoning is retail or commercial thoroughfare that will extend the adjoining existing commercial thoroughfare zone to the east. And you can see here on the map, it does extend just a bit to the east because it is bordering that existing zoning. The commercial thoroughfare zone will better align the property's historic and surrounding uses with the allowable uses and with the existing commercial general plan land use designation. The proposed zoning map amendment will only allow by right uses that are primarily permitted in the commercial thoroughfare zone without a conditional use permit. Any uses requiring a conditional use permit will require an additional public hearing and will be subject to conditions of approval to mitigate any impacts on the surrounding area. As for the general plan land use designation, it is designated commercial, which provides for neighborhood and locally oriented commercial centers that may include retail and service uses, limited professional and administrative offices, public and quasi-public uses, and similar and compatible uses. This general plan land use designation is compatible with the commercial thoroughfare zoning, and it will not need to be amended as part of the rezone. And as you can see here in the graphic, where this parcel, where this parcel is located is in the general plan land use designation that aligns with the commercial thoroughfare zone. It is not located in the GPLU that aligns with the retail commercial zone. The existing retail commercial zoning is associated with the Central Business District GPLU, which is a less compatible general plan land use designation, and potentially would need to be amended if those parcels were to retain their retail commercial zoning. As for CEQA, the project is categorically exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act, Section 15061, subsection B, 3, the common sense exception, because it can be seen with certainty that the administerial act of amending the zoning map will not result in any changes to the environment. In addition, any change in use or future development projects associated with this rezone will undergo additional environmental review at the time of that application. Ours for public noticing, we are in compliance with Fortuna Municipal Code Section 1707.200 subsection C. Both the property notices that were mailed out and the North Coast Journal publication went out on February 19th, well within our 10 days. The future uses, as mentioned in the staff report, one of the sub-applicants is City Ambulance, looking to relocate to that parcel. That use is only allowed in the commercial thoroughfare zone, and it does require a conditional use permit. They have applied for their conditional use permit, and we are working our way through the process to allow that application to be heard by the Planning Commission. This location was chosen due to the on-site facilities that can accommodate their staffing and the turnkey condition of the space. It was just recently fully remodeled, so it's in great condition to accommodate their staff. They have proposed a no lights and sirens area. This will all be built into any conditions of approval once the conditional use permit is taken to the Planning Commission. They currently are allowed to use their lights and sirens on Main Street. We do not have any restrictions anywhere in the city as far as emergency service response mode. So by suggesting that they would mitigate any impacts by using the no lights and sirens, it actually will lessen the noise that is currently on Main Street. It is a highway access point for northbound calls, and there is not another alternative that would not have some sort of impact on other residential or commercial uses. Our recommended council action is that you receive the staff presentation and review questions, open public hearing and receive public comment, close the public hearing, and make a motion to hold a first reading of ordinance 2026-783, which is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Fortuna approving a zoning map amendment from retail commercial to commercial thoroughfare for assessors parcel number 040172-009 and find the project exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. And thank you.
Thank you. Before we open the public hearing, is there any questions or comments from council?
I don't have any.
So we'll open, is there public hearing, is there any comments from the public? Seeing none. Oh, there we go.
My name is Erica Thompson. I'm a resident of Fortuna, and I am the neighbor directly adjacent to the parcel that is up for rezone. And I just wanted to say that I think it absolutely should be rezoned. It would benefit the property and the neighborhood as far as aligning with businesses that are already there. And there's been a kind of an emotional outcry about the lights and sirens, which we're dealing with through the conditional use permit. But I would like to just say that I am in favor of the rezone. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Good evening, Sue Hong. I also would like to support the rezone, but I do have a problem, and I know this isn't tonight's, but I don't want you to vote thinking there's not going to be lights and sirens, because how in the world are you going to clear the traffic out on Main Street if you need to get somewhere quickly? I think that's ludicrous, and that should not be included.
Any other, oh,
Hey, good evening. My name's Abe Folkart. I'm the property owner of 703, and I have a parcel adjacent to that as well. I just want to say this item comes before you following review and approval of the Planning Commission already. They've evaluated this zoning map amendment for consistency of the general plan and the surrounding zoning pattern, the CEQA determination, and the existing commercial thoroughfare zoning on the adjacent nearby properties does not increase any environmental impacts or populations. The commission adopted those findings and recommended approval. It's important to note that the surrounding parcels are already all zoned commercial thoroughfare, and those uses or the uses that are permitted or conditionally permitted in that zone already apply to uniformly to all those properties in the area. Amendment does not create any new rights. It simply brings the outdated retail commercial designation into alignment with the zoning pattern in that corridor already. Additionally, I believe that retail commercial designation area is identified for a redesign consideration in the general plan update of this year as well already. Anyhow, tonight's decisions about zoning consistency and alignment with policy, I respectfully ask that you adopt the zoning map amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other comment?
Chief Eberhardt, I am in support of this as well, but I thought I should get up here and talk to the emergency response aspect of it. I wasn't even part of that discussion. I can just tell you from a police department's perspective, I would want the ability for my patrol units to respond with lights and siren if needed. It helps mitigate safety risk for people when they're responding. Yes, I agree with the earlier comment.
Thank you, Chief. That was the question that I had is, I don't think that you should restrict emergency vehicles from using their lights and sirens. It gets them out into traffic. It's actually a protection so they can get to where they're going. So I don't think that should be restricted at all. And with that, if there's no other comments.
Let's see if we have any other public comment or any more questions from staff regarding.
Okay. Oh,
My name's Carson Vanderveer. I am the ops manager for City Ambulance of Eureka. And I just want everybody in this room to know that as we go through this process, we're here to work with everybody and come to a common ground on all this stuff. So I just want to let everybody know that we're committed to that should this project be allowed to continue. So thank you.
Thank you.
okay, I'll make a motion to introduce and hold the first reading of ordinance 2026-783 and read by title only, and continue the public hearing to the next regular meeting for the second reading and adoption.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second.
Ordinance 2026-783, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Fortuna approving a zoning map amendment from retail commercial to commercial thoroughfare for assessor's parcel number 140-172-009 and finding the project exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. Councilmember Conley?
Aye.
Councilmember Diaz?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes. And we come now to our last business item, approve a hiring freeze exception for a part-time on-call public safety dispatcher. We have a staff report.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. The Fortuna Police Department is seeking an exemption to the current city hiring freeze to recruit a part-time on-call public safety dispatcher position. A longtime employee who filled that position recently resigned, leaving a critical gap in our relief staffing. The position of public safety dispatcher is a position that provides essential services to the community and the Eel River Valley. The applicant pool is very limited, and qualified trained applicants who are looking for part-time on-call employment. The department utilizes this position as an on-call basis as the need arises. For example, in unforeseen emergencies, full-time vacancies, employee medical leave, and special events. Having this position staffed helps mitigate risks. Additionally, we are aware of a retirement of one of our full-time dispatchers in approximately 15 months and a potential public safety dispatcher leaving due to family member taking a position out of the area, both which will impact staffing. In regards to the fiscal impact, this position does not cause any additional appropriation. The salary is offset by vacancies and the position is more cost-effective than a full-time public safety dispatcher overtime rate. The alternatives to staff recommendations are deny the exemption, not recommended. Full-time public safety dispatcher leaves our employment. The hiring and training process takes a very long time, during which the remaining full-time public safety dispatchers would be left working continued significant overtime. If you delay the recruitment until the hiring freeze is lifted, is also not recommended and would create the same circumstances that I just shared. Thank you for your consideration, and this concludes my staff report, and I'm available for any questions.
Do we have any questions for?
I just want to clarify, this position will save on overtime, correct?
Yes.
Any other? Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none. I've been a little quick to say seeing none before. I wanted to slow down a little bit this time. So, okay.
Make a motion to approve an exception to the hiring freeze for a police department part-time on-call dispatcher position and begin recruitment hiring process.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Conley?
Aye.
Councilmember Diaz?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent?
Yes.
Mayor Johnson?
Yes. And thank you. And hopefully you get staffing going again. All right, so we come now to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and council members. We haven't met since the beginning of February, and so this report covers almost the entire month of February. So there was State of the City that I attended along with our police chief and our mayor, and gave a report on the status of the city at that time. There was also an RCRPD meeting, and during that meeting, the McLean Foundation shared that they would be investing in a community pool. And so we look forward to hearing more from the McLean Foundation at future RCRPD meetings on the pool. We had meetings with EMC, which is the polling firm that will be doing public opinion research on the potential sales tax measure this fall. And so polling began the week of February 23rd, and we will have those polling results back to the City Council on April 6th. There were a number of solid waste franchise meetings that have also occurred, and it sounds like Humboldt Waste Management Authority and Recology will not be able to start the SB 1383 services that we are mandated to provide on July 1, and so the deadline has now been pushed to October 1st to allow Recology and Humboldt Waste Management Authority time to be able to process organics. I also had the pleasure of attending the HCOG PAC meeting to support the city's request for transit funding for buses and the RideCo application. That was approved, and our Parks and Recreation Director, Kaylin Stainbrook, is on it, and she's working aggressively to get us new buses and the RideCo app online, so we look forward to opening up service to the general population. I had also the pleasure of attending the Cal City City Manager meeting, and it was great to be with my fellow city managers and attend many educational sessions. I was a guest on Talk Shop. I'm a guest on Talk Shop every third Friday of the month. I continue to work with our Human Resources, Parks and Recreation, and Finance Director to make some operational improvements at the River Lodge. And you will hear me talk about this a number of times. We are continuing to work on the city's strategic plan, and so please keep in mind that there are 2 community workshops that are coming up. The first workshop will be Imagining Future Fortuna. That will be Wednesday, March 25th at the River Lodge. Doors open at 4 o'clock, and this workshop will be from 5:30 to 8 o'clock. And the workshop number 2, Charting a Course to Future Fortuna, that will be Saturday, April 11th. Doors open at 10, and the workshop is from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., also at the River Lodge. There was also a Fortuna Chamber Dinner that occurred last week, and then I continued to meet with department heads on a very regular basis.
Thank you. Is there any questions for our city manager regarding her report? Okay. Well, then we have future agenda items. Is there anything anyone would like to bring forward for future agenda item? Well, then we'll go.
I would just like to revisit the committees that we are on, because I need an alternate for RCEA.
And any others? Okay, well, we have council reports.
Thank you. We were unable to have a Parks and Rec Commission meeting because we didn't have a quorum, but we had a commissioner that resigned. So I was happy to see Mr. Riza, who applied and was here right up until I was already to mention his name. But I've known Mr. Riza for a very long time, grew up with his kids, so it's going to be a great addition to the parks, and hopefully we can start having meetings again with a number of quorum.
Okay, Councilmember Diaz.
I wasn't able to attend the RCEA meeting, so I don't have anything to report for that, but I did attend the State of the City and the Fortuna Chamber dinner as well. So.
Okay. And Councilmember Stevens.
Nothing really exciting to report from my end this time.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Trent.
I would just like to encourage anybody in the public, if, you know, as we move forward with looking at a tax measure, if you have any questions on the city's budget or what we're doing or why we're doing it, please contact one of the council people, city manager. Any of us would be happy to explain any of this and the reason that we, you know, are doing this. So that's all I have to report.
Okay. Well, we have a few things. I did not have as much going on as I usually do, but I did have the HCOG meeting about a week and a half ago, and we did work with HTA, and City Manager Nielsen came and advocated strongly for Fortuna, and that was approved to work with HTA and to open up our transit to the public at large. It won't be restricted, and we look forward to seeing how that's going to work and working with HTA, because what we're doing will help them improve their service so that everybody hopefully gets a better transit system. So that's one thing. The other thing, I had the opportunity to attend the firemen's dinner, and they had a few awards that they gave out both to the public and to the firemen themselves. And I'd like to bring a few of them up. The firefighter of the year this year was Dave Victorine. I know he's pretty well known from working with Sequoia Gas and with the Fortuna Rodeo Association. So he was the firefighter of the year. The fire chief's award went to Rob Foley. He's another one who's a longtime firefighter and very active in the community at large. And he's was the firefighter of the year. The citizen of the year, who really deserved this, is Wally and Sandra Close from C&C Catering, because they always come in and support the fire department, the Kiwanis, the city, and their State of the City things. And they're a great asset to the community, and they always pitch in, and they do a great job. And this year, the Explorer of the Year was Westcott Covington. And he not only is just an explorer learning, but he took on some extra duties helping with set up and tear down of stuff and working with the community and helping keep the books and the records straightened out. So we'd like to recognize that. And another thing, while I was talking to the fire chief, to Russ, he says, hey, I want to find out something. When we had that big windstorm come through town, all that construction work on Main Street where they were working on that manhole, they had a detour around it. Well, the wind blew and the signs were down, and I come by through there, and there's this guy out there in T-shirt working, putting everything back up and getting the traffic control back in place. And I just want to make sure that guy's recognized. And if I remember right, his name was Isaac, and he was called out to set that back up and get the traffic control going, and in doing so, keeping the public safe from that great excavation on Main Street. So we can recognize our firefighters and the people on our Public Works Department that go the extra mile during a holiday weekend. So pass that thank you on to Isaac, will you there, Brian? Thank you. And that's all I have to report right now.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.